So what is fear? And it's not what you think. Hi, my name's Joe O'Connor, and I love working with individuals, helping them get and become bigger, better and bolder versions of themselves. And I do this in 3 key areas: health, wealth and mindset. And you've got to be continually developing in all 3 areas to become the real person and achieve the real results you can. I've been speaking with some business owners recently, ranging from financial advisors to business entrepreneurs, accountants, solicitors, marketing specialists, in fact pretty much every sector of business in a mastermind group that I run. And you know, the one thing that they tell me is they're just fed up with the fake news, fed up with the unrealistic statistics, and just fed up with what and how this is making their customers feel, which is stunting growth. Now the thing is, fear, it reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend of mine who's a motivational speaker, Michael Heppel, and he was telling me that he did a seminar some time ago, and he was talking about motivation and what makes people really get to where they want to be, and it comes to this part where it was fear, right? And he's got a new bonnet, which you may have heard or you may not have heard, which is: fear is false evidence appearing real. And this was in an auditorium with, I think it was a few thousand people, and he came to this part in the presentation of fear, and he said, right, okay, so who knows what the word fear stands for, the 4 points? And he was expecting loads of people to put their hands up, and unfortunately they weren't all that forthcoming. So he said, come on guys, what do you think fear stands for, the mnemonic? And he was looking around, and as a speaker, right, you want to develop a relationship with the audience so you can really get a great relationship and get them motivated to do stuff. And this silver-haired lady, real mature looking lady, full of experience, smartly dressed, was sat at the front, in the front few rows, and she kept putting her hand up, me, and she did catch his eye, and he just carried on asking the question, so who in the audience would like to give their version of what fear stands for? And he saw this lady, me, and he thought, right, okay, this is the ideal opportunity. I've asked enough. I've asked them enough now. He says, yes, madam, could you please tell us what the mnemonic fear stands for? He said, and he's expecting false evidence appearing real. And she said, a big smile on her face. And she said, fuck everything and run. Deadly silence. And then all of a sudden, there was a chuckle. And then more of a chuckle in the audience. And then it was just rapturous chuckle, laughter, tears of joy and roaring applause. And Michael said, well, that's not actually what I was referring to, madam, but then again, I can see where you're coming from. And you see, that's what the fake news, the fake statistics, the stuff where they're blowing things out of proportion and actually forecasting stuff that's never going to happen. Like my father wouldn't leave the house before Christmas. He said, oh, the experts have said there's going to be 4 million unemployed and everything. Right, now I know this pandemic has been tough, right? But the fact is, I want us to now come together to recognise that we do have a future. And of course today is a year since the lockdown was announced. So today at 12 o'clock it's a minute silence, and then this evening at 8 o'clock you come outside and you pay your respects and stand at the door. So what I'd like to say to you is, take this one thing away. Fear can quite often be false evidence appearing real, and I know going forward we can come out of this together. So let's just do this together, achieve what you want to achieve, and look about structuring what your future holds for you. Thank you for tuning in, and have a brilliant day.